I have realized that having rituals in my life is one of the things that has helped me calm my nervous system. It gives me something to look forward to even when life is ordinary and mundane. I have found a way to romanticize my own life because of the rituals that I've created in my life. Some days when I go to the office, I don't have a chance to get to the gym in the morning. And so after work is when I have a chance to actually exercise and move my body intentionally. And I found it to also be helpful because it sort of quietens my mind when I get to do this. So even when I am stuck in traffic, I am looking forward to getting home and just unwinding for the day. And because I have created a ritual that I really enjoy, that I look forward to, traffic doesn't feel so unbearable. At this point, sometimes I'll be very tired depending on how the day was. But because I have a ritual, I'm really excited to get home. I think everyone is, but I am looking forward to the different moments in the ritual and not just getting home, because there's a whole thing. There's so many steps that happen when I get home. So one of those ones being, obviously I have to remove my shoes. I don't bring in outside shoes in the house. And when I get home, my dog is always happy to see me. This is something that I did not realize would happen when I got a dog. And on some days when I particularly have very hard days, Chandler is always happy to see me. And I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he manages to stay that enthusiastic about seeing the same person over and over again. But on some days, I really do need it. And so it helps to have this little creature that looks forward to seeing me. I'm sure people with kids, it's even more enjoyable or pleasurable when they come home and their kids are happy to see them. I have to sanitize my shoes and then I pack those shoes away. Or sometimes I leave them by the door just so that they could dry up. And then I start unpacking and preparing for the next day immediately. I don't even sit down. I know a lot of people need a moment to rest and just gather themselves. But if I do this, I've tried it. If I do this, I won't be able to get up. I won't get anything done. And so if I'm going to the office the next day, I definitely have to just start. Some leftover lunch, it might make it into the lunch bag for tomorrow. So I obviously take out my lunch boxes, clean out my lunch bag, because I obviously need to pack food for the following day. And also, it's just good habit. At least you know that there's nothing that is outstanding. So I put those things away. And then I need to change, because on this particular day, I did not make it to the gym. And so I need to change and take a walk. So after being in the office, I find that going to the gym doesn't do what I needed to do for me on those days. So I'd rather be outside in nature. It really helps a lot. It feels very grounding and calming. So I change into my workout clothes, and also sometimes it feels like Chandler knows that we're going to go for a walk. And so even as I'm recording this, he heard me say that, and that sentence is like a trigger sentence for him, because then he gets excited. So I change into my workout clothes, and then we head out for the evening before it gets too dark also. And I need to do this while I still have some energy, because again, like I said, if I sit down, it then becomes hard for me to get up, and then my whole routine gets thrown off. So I head out for the time outside with my children. Because it gets dark quickly in the winter, I have to have a higher pace when I walk in the evening, and that's Chandler in the bathroom. And so it helps that Chandler is high energy. And I also live in a safe neighborhood, but I still don't push my luck. I try to keep my pace up as much as possible so that I get home when it's not too dark and when people are still driving home, because then at least the streets are still active. Get in. When I get home, I like to get in through the back just to allow Chandler to clean out his feet or paws, because obviously they're dirty, and it also gives him a chance to sort of breathe and settle down, because he has a whole thing also when he gets back from our little walks where he wants to also run around. I don't know how he has the energy, but then I then get to sort of focus on finalizing my wind down routine. I remove my shoes. I will later on sanitize them. So I continue with my wind down routine after I'm back from the walk, because if I wait until I'm done, it will be too dark for me to go outside and I'll actually be scared. Even though Chandler thinks he's a lion, I think it's just safer to just err on the side of caution. So I then finish off the wind down routine. So usually I'd have left stuff in the dishwasher when I go to the office, and when I get back I need to offload the dishwasher and load it with my lunch stuff and whatever things that I'll use in the evening to have my supper. So that's part of the process. And I got groceries delivered. I really appreciate how we now have groceries delivered to us so quickly, because in a sense you multitask. So I ordered these groceries and scheduled them to be delivered around the time that I knew I'll be back from my walk. And so when I got back from the walk, my groceries had arrived. And so I really appreciate that, because imagine having to leave the office, then pass by the grocery shops to do the groceries for the things that you need, and then get home and then still have to do this routine. And because it's now a part of our lives now, I think we take it for granted, because there was a time when the world was not like this, and this is something that I really appreciate. I appreciate technology because of this. It is so convenient, and it has helped create employment as well, because now we have these delivery people who are now bringing groceries to our doorsteps, which is something that I really appreciate. It used to be something that was more, or would see it rather, on TV for people in the West, but I guess this is how technology is, and so I really appreciate this. So yeah. Some things don't make it into the dishwasher because of how they're made, and so I have to hand wash those things. And I have to say that there's something about organizing my space that actually calms my mind. And I think you can tell where I am mentally based on how my surroundings look, especially if it's where I live. I know some people are able to just rest a bit while the things around them are not in order, but for me, I wouldn't actually completely rest. And so while it is good to be able to rest, this is almost like starting the shutdown process for my body and my mind to actually completely rest. I wish I could just decide to rest even though things are chaotic around me. it would be great. But it does really help me, and it does calm my mind, and I feel less anxious when my space is organized. And so I really enjoy this part. I really enjoy making sure that the counters are as clear as possible and that things are clean, and things are packed away. It actually helps with my calming down routine. And I obviously have to start off with removing my makeup, and this is actually quite an intense process. I don't rush this process because any makeup that stays on your skin overnight is actually not good for you. And as someone who has acne prone skin, I really struggled with acne when I was a teen. Now that I'm older, I've found ways around taking care of my skin and giving it the things that it needs. But more importantly, cleaning my skin is part of that process, especially now that I wear makeup. I never used to, but now I do wear makeup, and I enjoy wearing makeup on the days that I do go outside and meet other people, or when I am in the office. I don't wear makeup when I'm at home, but I will wear sunscreen. And so I realized that to have a good look or finish when you wear makeup, it actually starts off with the skin. And so wearing makeup is not an excuse to not take care of your skin. So because I like makeup, I realize that it's even more important now to be good with my skin. It's not an opportunity for me to then relax on how I take care of my skin. I think if anything, I've become more intense on how I take care of my skin. So I start off with the makeup remover that is oil based. It feels like oil at least. And when it runs out, sometimes I just use coconut oil and I remove the makeup. It breaks down the makeup that would have been set there by setting spray. And then I go in with a manual cleanse. That's just a clean towel that I use to physically remove the makeup, because sometimes there won't be any residue on your hands, but it will be there on the towel. So I do this a few times with just warm water to break down and remove any excess makeup that's left behind. And ideally I shouldn't see any. I stop when I stop seeing makeup on the towel. I know the towel is dark and someone might argue, but how will you see the makeup? For me, I can see the difference because the towels are washed after one use. So I don't repeat the usage of a towel on my skin until it's been in the washing machine. And that's part of taking care of my skin, because if you repeat usage without cleaning the utensils, you are most likely to break out as well. When I'm sure that the makeup is done, I then get into the shower or I run a bath depending on how I'm feeling. But usually I just run a bath, and I like to dim the lights when I do this because it starts to signal to my body that it's time to relax and sleep. And I do a facial cleanse process as well in the shower with active ingredients. And as soon as that shower is done, then I go in and I tone my skin. I like using glycolic acid most of the time, or there's a salicylic acid toner when I feel like there's a lot of buildup of sebum on my skin. But I have to tone again because I have acne prone skin. I have to be very diligent and I can't afford to be lazy when it comes to my skin, because I don't want my face to look like bumps and whatever. And so I've done the work to move from that place, and so maintaining it also requires work. So yeah, I tone my face, I moisturize, I do my steps. I don't know how many steps exactly I actually do for my face. It just depends on what it is that I need, or what I feel my face needs, or what it's looking like, and then I just do that. I do my best. So it's like face and neck and just around the ears, because I've washed there as well. I just want to make sure that I look like a normal person. So after my skincare is done, I change into my PJs, have my supper, and on this day I was having soup, which is a fun thing about winter. You get to drink soup for supper. So yeah. Thank you so much if you've made it this far, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.